Hey guys, Nestletter Magic here, and it is way overdue that I make a video about this situation. It's the number one thing that people are complaining about in Magic right now that they've fixed the card quality allegedly. And people seem to be catching on that it's like wink wink, nod nod, okay, I guess, if we absolutely destroy Wizards of the Coast on this one. Because people are so fed up with this tournament ruining garbage, and the absolute assholes who run this deck that they just don't care. They do not care anymore. There is a banner restricted announcement coming up on August 26th in about 3 days. And this piece of flaming garbage known as Hogaak needs to be banned. To give you just the tip of the iceberg about some of the statements made by certain noteworthy entities in the Magic community, TCG Player has allegedly released an advertisement saying, "Have you had fun playing Modern lately? Neither have we." And they go on to say that you can get like 5% bonus bucks on certain singles, but then if basically Hogaak gets banned, you get 8% back. I don't know much about the program. Basically, they're like, hey, we're putting pressure on Wizards to actually solve this problem. We're fed up. This is crap. This isn't good for anybody. Wizards needs to wake the hell up. Now, I think that people are getting so angry because so many tournaments are getting ruined and ticket sales are down. Remember, there was that Modern tournament in England where they could not figure out why nobody showed up to it. One, it was in Liverpool, and two, Hogaak. And it's not just, oh, look at the state of things, which is bad enough. It's, one, we've seen this before. It was called the Eldrazi Winter, where they printed overpowered as all hell Eldrazi cards. They infested Modern and ruined several tournaments in a row. Just ruined them. You might as well have just stayed home, according to everybody who assessed it reasonably and honestly. You either running that deck, which meant a bunch of mirror matches and just waste your time, or you lost. That was it. You absolutely 100% wasted your money if you went to these Modern tournaments. The hotel, the flight, the ticket, the deck, everything. You completely wasted your time and money because you stood no chance of winning. Well, welcome to Hogaak. So if TCG Player is going to speak up, and they kind of care what Wizards thinks of them, although Wizards can barely even acknowledge that they exist because that would be really close to acknowledging that singles have a value, which they can't do for legal reasons. So, wow. But yeah, the one reason is that we've seen it before, and people are just like, oh my God, pull the trigger. Assess what is happening and make an out-of-cycle emergency ban. People wanted this a week ago. They wanted it 2 weeks ago. But then absolutely aggravating, dumbass, community-hating, clueless, tone-deaf moron and perpetual Twitter gaffe generator Aaron Forsyth, one of the higher-ups at Wizards of the Coast, tweeted out one of the most hated tweets of all time by a member of the staff, which is really saying something, on actually August 12th. We aren't going to be emergency banning anything. There are scheduled ban and restricted announcements. The next scheduled announcement is 8/26. That is causing such a reaction to counter what he said because it's so like condescending and incorrect, inaccurate, a bad move, disagreed with, however you want to say it. People hate it. People hate him. People hate everything he says on Twitter. And he's one of the people who makes the ban and restricted announcements, if I'm not mistaken, or puts in his feedback to making the decisions, I should say. And for him to just say, no, we're sticking to the schedule, I don't care how bad things get, which I'm kind of reading between the lines. Wow, not a good idea to tell legitimately justifiably pissed off people, like, no, you're delusional, we're not going to do anything about this, screw you. Oh, just wait 2 more weeks and we'll see what happens. And they're not even guaranteeing like, okay, we're going to ban it. Let's just hint at the fact that we're going to ban this card. Oh, but you got to wait because why do it early? No, this is basically him just slapping every member of the community in the face. So if you're not familiar with Aaron Forsyth, what else is new? That's all I can say about him. So we've got the, wow, we've seen this before and you really took too long to ban the Eldrazi the first time in Modern, in the recent history and everybody's recent memory. Then you got the statement by Aaron Forsyth just talking down to the entire community and saying, no, we're not going to do it, instead of just staying silent like he should be. Oh, or, announcing an out-of-cycle emergency ban because it's gotten that bad. And then third, Hogaak Arisen Necropolis was printed in Modern Horizons, where they very worryingly said, yeah, we're going to print brand new cards and they're for modern. So they went to the top decks and were like, let's improve them even more. That's a great idea. And everybody said, no, that's not a great idea. That's dangerous and stupid. And on top of it, what did they do? Graveyard mechanics. That's like printing a card that improves Storm after they already banned, 3 cards from Storm at this point? I've lost track. What did they just have to ban recently in Modern? And I mean really recently. Oh yeah, Dredge. Very, very recently, they banned the card Golgari Grave Troll. If you're not familiar, is a 0/0 for 5, which is meaningless. Those 2 stats mean absolutely nothing, because it says, it enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each creature card in your graveyard. Pay 1 generic mana, then remove a 1/1 counter from it, and regenerate it. Dredge 6. Now, if you're not familiar with Dredge, the reminder text is, if you would draw a card, instead you may put exactly 6 cards from the top of your library into your graveyard. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand, otherwise draw a card. So, broken, unfair, stupid, a dumb mechanic. On the Storm scale, which is a level of likelihood that a mechanic will be printed ever again, where it goes from 1 as like, oh my gosh, definitely, and then 10 is never, and technically there's 1 at 11, Dredge is a 10. Okay, now I know that the Storm scale only applies to standard, but it's a pretty damn good way to see if a mechanic is fair and balanced for other formats. So Dredge has been so annoying, so degenerate, so stupid, repetitive, overpowered in multiple formats over the last couple years. They know it's problematic. They just had to lower the power of it by banning Golgari Grave Troll. And then what do? They turn around and print a brand new card called Hogaak Arisen Necropolis, which, if you're not familiar, is an 8/8 for who gives a shit how much mana. You can't spend mana to cast the spell, is the first thing it says, and then Convoke Delve. So you can tap creatures that are in play and then ditch cards out of your graveyard to pay for this. So it works perfectly with Dredge. I'd almost call it a Dredge card. It's like the opposite. It takes cards out of your graveyard, but Dredge puts them into your graveyard. So graveyard mechanics, graveyard synergy, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is. It's a Dredge card. It's meant for a Dredge deck. I don't care if it doesn't say the word Dredge on it. And then it says you may cast Hogaak Arisen Necropolis from your graveyard, obviously. And then it has Trample. It's a Trample 8/8. That's disgusting and ridiculous. That's overpowered, unnecessary, and most importantly, they're like taking a known to be recently and historically problematic archetype and saying, here, have this overpowered bullshit. What Wizards should have done is taken Dredge as a deck and a concept, put it in a dark room somewhere and pretended it didn't exist. Don't acknowledge it, don't help it, don't print anything for it. Just hope with your fingers crossed that it dies. That or just say screw it and just ban every single card with Dredge, but you know they're not going to do that. Don't get me wrong, they should, they're just not going to, but they absolutely should do that. So they do the exact opposite and say, hey, what would be great after we just came off of the Golgari Grave Troll ban? Making another Dredge card for the Dredge deck. What could possibly go wrong? This is why the concept behind Modern Horizons was so unbelievably stupid and careless. Over 200 brand new cards for Modern that nobody's seen before. I mean, okay, some of them they were taken from older formats. Cool, whatever, that's fairly predictable. But this is a brand new one. It was a rare, and people saw it and thought, well, that's ridiculous. Why do we need to help Dredge? Why would that be a good idea? So to reiterate the 3 reasons why people are angry, it's because we've seen this before. Statements, the condescending crap basically coming from the Wizard staff, that mixed with silence, just basically a lack of any useful response on the situation, doing anything about it or saying anything about it. And then the fact that this is so avoidable, so obvious that they shouldn't have printed this card, that everybody in the community, and I mean everybody but Wizards themselves, the people who approved crap like this, thought, yay, let's do Dredge again. And then ... fast forward a month, oh crap, whoops. So let's go back to a topic that I covered very recently. Who's actually making statements? Now, this is my favorite one. I'm going to play an audio clip from a live stream from round 3 of some recent Magic Fest somewhere. You guys know I don't follow this crap. I don't cover it. I don't care. This is one of the announcers, some guy named Ben. I don't know who he is. I don't follow Pro Magic except for reporting on all the disgusting cheaters that get caught. But I do have to say, whoever the hell you are, Ben, good. you go for the throat, bro, okay? Here's the clip. I would set it up, but it completely speaks for itself.
This is the power of Hogaak.
I'm going to say this one more time. Chantel mulliganed this game, and her opponent turn 1 Inquisitioned her on the play this game before she had the opportunity to play anything. She took a mulligan, and then her opponent played a discard spell before she had the opportunity to cast anything. And this is turn 2 of this game.
Yep.
Look at this board.
Yeah.
This is not her rare nut draw.
No.
This is a mulligan, and then her opponent played a discard spell on turn 1.
Yep. This is a nightmare scenario for so many decks in Modern, and instead we're seeing Campbell just spew 16 power into play on turn number 2, Ben Stark.
This is gross. This is broken. This should be banned. How can I give good strategical analysis of this game? Whether or not to take Faithless Looting or Stitcher Supplier was interesting and somewhat close.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now it's turn 2, and Chantel has out how much power? 16?
16, yeah.
On a mulligan through a turn 1 discard by her opponent.
Yep. This.
So he said what the scenario was. She mulliganed because she didn't get a good opening hand, and then, oh, the London Mulligan comes around. Yay, you can hand pick what you want to put in the graveyard. 1, that doesn't work very well with Dredge, and 2, that's a little too much consistency. Duh, everybody knew this. It was a disastrously stupid, careless mistake. Again. And then she gets her hand nuked by Inquisition of Kozilek, which should leave her with nothing. In a normal deck, you probably got a 5 or 10% chance of winning and coming back from that. That's a nightmare scenario. And instead, nope, 16 power on the board on turn 2. Is it time to ban Dredge permanently yet? Screw Hogaak Arisen Necropolis. Is it time to simply ban Dredge? Period. Just Dredge itself. The deck, the mechanic, the cards, the people who play it, I don't care. Get rid of it. That deck is everything proof. If any deck brings out 16 power on the board after that disastrous of a start and then runs somebody over on like turn 3, it's time to do something about it. Just kidding. It's way past time to do something about it at that point. That would be unacceptable for Vintage and Legacy. And this is Modern. We all know that Standard is already turned into Modern because of the ridiculous power level, because they refuse to do 2 rotations a year, because whiny people on Reddit didn't like it. So we're already stuck with Modern grade decks in Standard that we have to tolerate until the rotation. Like turn 4 mono red or Boros Blitz decks, or there's 3 different versions of it now. Or absolute prison level shutdown, overdraw, draw engine control-a-thon shows like Esper. Oh, and don't forget Nexus is still legal for all you arena players who haven't seen it. We have to put up with all that crap, and then Modern has now turned into Legacy and Vintage. Everything needs to be powered down. Nobody likes this high level of powered Magic, and if they do, they'll go to the appropriate format for it. But we've now shifted everything into Crazyville, even Commander. Look at the unbanning of, I'll just say, basically color-based mechanics, which are just unbelievably abusive. And before that, they unbanned Protean Hulk. Unbannings raise the power level. Nobody's having fun. Nobody can have a fun, fair, appropriate tournament. And anybody playing against this deck is just pissed that they waste their money. And anybody playing the deck not only knows damn well that they wasted their money because it's about to be banned, but they know deep down that they're a massive, enormous asshole for bringing this to a tournament. Now you might say, there's money on the line, it's prize money, it's not supposed to be fun or like sportsman-like. This is like, go for blood, I want the prize. I want the prize money. But when you know that you are actively participating in ruining an entire event and unfairly taking prize money away from other people, it's cheating adjacent. You are one tiny step away from just outright stealing that prize money at that point, in my opinion. So on principle, should you just go to the tournament and, oh well, I'm not going to run the best deck with the best chance of winning clearly because I don't like money? No, the proper thing, though, is not to show up with it and say, well, screw you, it's not my problem, it's Wizard's problem. There's some logic there, but it's very self-serving and very greedy at the end of the day. So, like, yeah, they're not wrong, but their actions speak louder than anything they could possibly say. So when the announcers at your giant Magic Fest tournaments are so fed up, they're like, this is broken, this is crap, what am I even supposed to say about this? How am I supposed to commentate on this? This is just bullshit. Which is, I'm sure, projecting what he wanted to say if he didn't have a little bit more of a filter, but he was pretty much blowing his top just politely and appropriately. And, you know, good for him for calling out Wizards on their crap. People can only take so much, and then they blow. They cross the line, and they just call out Wizards on not doing anything about the situation once again, printing a broken card that they know would be problematic once again, getting it through playtesting and saying, nope, this is approved once again. In the last 3 years, we've had 9 bannings in Standard. Actually, it might be higher now. I might have to update that number. And that was after, what was the number for like the 5 years before that? Oh yeah, 0 bannings in Standard. They went with 9 bans because they keep printing overpowered broken shit to sell cards and to sell decks and to sell singles and to sell more products because it's power creep. That's all that's going on right now in Wizards is power creep. And power creep has broken Hearthstone and driven like half the players away. It's broken entire other formats. It's the reason that a lot of cards were banned in almost any format in the last 20 years. Power creep broke Yu-Gi-Oh! It caused the entire fundamental rules change, and now they've power crept back up to a bunch of like turn 2 win garbage. Or so I've heard from other people who claim to know Yu-Gi-Oh! So just a little grain of salt there. You have to design sets and cards that are interesting, fun, new, novel ideas, fun ways to play the game. They generate fun, interesting, dynamic, decision-heavy games that aren't repetitive, aren't stupid, aren't gimmicky, and aren't overly oppressive and controlling. You have to do that. You cannot say, we need money, let's just print more powerful that we know people will buy. You can't do that. It is not a durable strategy, and Wizards knows this, and they keep just saying, I don't care, I want to collect a paycheck. That is what is fundamentally behind Modern Horizons, the last 20 sets printed in Standard, everything, every broken card, every card banning, every broken deck, every rune tournament, every single time, it's them pushing the line and not saying, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this card is taking things too far. Not maybe, I'm saying that sarcastically. Definitely they shouldn't have printed Hogaak. Definitely they shouldn't have printed Rekindling Phoenix. Definitely they should never have printed Scarab God. And in fact, on the same line of thinking, they definitely shouldn't have put fetch lands in Standard. That they even admit was stupid. But they want money. They wanted to sell Modern Horizons. What's the fastest way to do it? An automatic guaranteed gimme card that everybody wants. The funny thing is, people are so confident this card will be banned, even though it's dominating tournaments, and you guys knew what like Reality Smasher hit for price-wise when that was part of the Eldrazi Winter. This card, this tournament-ruining, game-breaking pile of shit, is $3.50. It's almost a bulk rare if you look at the price of one pack of Modern Horizons. It's not even considered a good rare. Yeah, it's not 25 cents, but you lost money if you open this in a pack, and this is the most broken card in Modern right now. Single-handedly, hands down, unopposed, no possible way to say that there's another competitor. So for anybody saying the problem is they should have banned it earlier, no, the problem is they never should have printed another Dredge card. That's the problem. Okay, don't get it twisted. That is the problem at the end of the day at a fundamental level. That's why people are so pissed. That's why, people who toe the Wizards line and are directly employed by Wizards or Channel Fireball or TCG Player or whatever are just like, no, we're done with this. We're going to say what's on our mind. Deal with it. More power to them. I've been doing that on my channel for 4 years, okay? Every time they screw up, I call them out on it, and I call them out early and hard. Why do you think I have so many subscribers? Because the whole community turned on Wizards over this card, and when I call them out on something, either an individual card, a deck, a pricing change, a decision, a rule change, a banning, a not banning, anything they do that's detrimental to the players, card quality, anything, I've been proven right, or Wizards has done something about the problem I'm complaining about easily 80+% of the time. So to all the dumbasses out there still saying, but Des, I don't like your channel because you're so negative. You're a weak-minded idiot, okay? I'm sick of hearing it, and what you need to do is grow up and realize that it's not me, it's just me reporting what's happening, and Wizards just keeps fucking so many things up that it looks like I'm negative all the time. Saying that my channel is overly needlessly negative and exaggerating things is like saying, boy, the news coming out of Syria is just so needlessly negative. It's a hole where one disaster after another keeps happening. So unless you like news that lies to you, every time they say the word Syria, it's followed by something exploded or somebody died. Yes, I just compared Wizards of the Coast handling of multiple formats to a civil war. If nothing good is coming from Wizards, then nothing good is going to be said about them in my videos. If you can't handle that because I don't like you saying bad things about the game I play because I like it and want to have fun and don't want to hear bad things about it, screw you. Find a different channel. Find one that lies to you. I don't care. Shut up. Get off my channel. Oh, and FYI to the other people who don't like me because, I make controversial statements about like net deckers and the other assholes ruining the game and bad people and cheating at the pro level and I disrespect the pro level and oh no, I don't like that because I like the pro level and I'm a wannabe pro. So I'm going to point out the 10% of the times where you were dead wrong about something and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You never know what you're talking about. You're always wrong, which is provably statistically incorrect. One, get a fucking clue. And two, get the fuck off my channel. Once again, stop watching my channel. I mean, I've got some news for all of you who keep constantly watching every video I release and then going on social media and saying, I hate this person, I can't stand him. Did you hear what he said now? Did you hear what he said in this video? Stop watching my channel then. You know why I don't watch certain YouTubers? Because I fucking hate them. So I've got bad news for you if this describes you. You actually have some sort of mental problem where you are purposely exposing yourself to things you hate for what? What reason? You fail like basic human logic. You have some fundamental flaw that requires a psychologist to even unravel. Where you say, I hate Desolator Magic, I can't stand him, I hate everything he says, but I watch every single one of his videos. Why? How stupid are you? A 2-year-old will touch a hot glowing stove, burn their finger once, and never go back to it again. How fucking stupid are you? Let me reiterate in case you didn't hear it the first time. If that describes you, get the off my channel. Stop watching my content if you don't enjoy it, you absolute mental patient. This is the only wake-up call I'm giving you. I'm just gonna keep banning you morons from my comment section. But YouTube keeps recommending them to me. One, because you keep clicking on them, you keep watching them, so they think you're interested. And two, unsub, and then when you see the next recommendation, click on the little 3 blocks next to the video thumbnail, and then click I don't want to see recommendations from this channel. Boom, problem solved. You'll never see me again. So please f*** off. I'm sick of your shit. I'm sick of you mentally unstable assholes constantly talking shit about me and every little thing I say in every little video. Stop fucking watching me. Stop wasting your time. Go do literally anything that you enjoy, which I feel is probably nothing because you're a miserable, angry, hateful, useless human being. So for those of you who are still with me at this point and actually are fans of my content, and that's why you're here and that's why my channel's so big, well, you've got more time, more eyes, and more anything than I do. Every time somebody mentions, oh, I hate him so much, did you see this, did you see that, did you see this, did you see that video? Tell them to stop watching my content. Do me a favor and tell them, like, actively bombard them with that statement. Even just sarcastically ask, then why do you keep watching him if you hate him so much and you hate what he says? Anybody who just gets home from work, sits down at the computer and says, what can I get angry about today? What will piss me off the most? And then does that for hours. They go expose themselves to stuff they hate so that they can get angry about it and feel all superior and how much better they are than everybody and, oh, look how much better I am than all my enemies. I don't even know how to solve your mental problem other than just telling you to get the fuck out of here. So please do. But you all need to jump on the bandwagon and tell these people to fuck off too. Because I am getting really sick of it. At this point, if I had another source of income as big as YouTube, I would never make another Magic video as long as I live. I am really fed up with the harassment from this community. And that's why I wanted to ambush these idiots at the end of a very, like, we're all on the same page here video that the most people will click on. Because I am far more pissed off about that than anything about Hogaak. I don't give a shit about Modern. I don't play it. I don't care about the competitive scene. They can ruin as many tournaments as they want. I'm just pointing out Wizards' stupidity and how I'm just sick to my ass about it. Doesn't affect me in any way. I don't give a shit. They could literally not ban it on the 26th and let it keep ruining tournaments for another 3 months until they decide to finally ban it. I don't care. Add it to the list of 1,000 other things that they've done to massively mismanage the game. It's just another one at this point. I'm basically numb to it. What we really need to do and focus on is finding all the bullies, the assholes, the mentally deranged idiots, all these egotistical, pro wannabe douchebags, just all the bottom of the barrel scum in the Magic community. We need to clean it up. That's the real problem with Magic right now, not fucking Hogaak. So what a wonderful turn this video took. I'm out of here.